Welcome back, Pythonians. In this video, we're going to load and inspect data with Pandas. But first, let us understand what is Pandas. It is one of the most widely used Python libraries for working with data. It was designed for working with tabular data, meaning data organized in rows and columns, very similar to Excel spreadsheets or database table. Those things we used to see in the past. In Pandas, this table structure is called a data frame. Now we can take a look at an example of how this tabular data might look like. We can see up here the three different columns that we look at horizontally, and vertically we can see the rows. Here we have the header rows, and then we have the data rows. And we saw from our last section when we went through file handling and processed CSV files, we read them and we saw when we wrote to them, it might more look like we look at this CSV file. We don't have any spaces or those lines. Now this is just markdown just to visually make it easier for you to see it. But this is how it is stored. And going back to the data frame, this is the class that Pandas has created that we use. It is used to load data from files like CSV files. It allows us to inspect it, to clean it, to transform it. And by transform it, I mean we modify the data or create new columns from existing data. And then after transforming it, we prepare it for analysis. So if we had first name, last name, we might have created, after processing it and transform it, a full name column here and adding that data. We will see this later. But for now, we will start with loading and inspecting, the most common first steps when loading what we call a data set. So, in conclusion, Pandas is a Python library used to work with tabular data. So, the first thing we do whenever we start to work with Pandas, we will import Pandas. For example, import Pandas as PD. So we use the alias and we give it PD. It's the most common thing we will see ever when we're working with it in almost any project. A shorthand. Yes, and if you have ever crossed NumPy, then we say NP. So before we proceed, let's think of this. In the tabular data that we looked here, we saw that we had columns, and each column had a name, and each row has an index. So for us, technically, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And some things will be a bit different when we work with the data frame object from the Pandas library. So you see, we have a data folder with a CSV file for students. We have seen the content. We see that each column was separated by commas. The first row has the column names, and there was one observation if you paid close enough. If we take a look again, everyone has a score but one. Leah. Leah does not have a score. We're going to encounter a situation where we have to handle this missing data. But that is for the next video. This video, we're going to keep it light, load and inspect. So step one, we import Pandas. As I said, this short name approach, this is standard convention almost every Python data project. And then loading the data is actually very simple. Let's take a look here. We have we create a data frame variable. Well, let's take this, so let's not confuse. Let's say first we read it. We read underscore CSV. We have this built-in function or method that belongs to the library, and then the path to it, similar to when we open the file in the last section, CSV. And we get something back if you take a look here. If I put my mouse over here and we look at the function signature, it's a very long one. It's very big, complex. I'm not sure what will give us that. But let's just put something here. We will call it, we'll store it in a variable called df. And if I put my mouse over df, we see it's a data frame. So that's where the df comes from. Data frame, shorthand. You will often see this kind of code as well. Kind of goes against our readability concerns, but as this is so commonly used, anyone work with pandas generally understand this. Now we want to print the entire table. All we have to do is say print df, because they have implemented under string, I suppose, or wrapper. We want to find out, so let's run this. All right, I guess I have to wait a bit for our terminal, and there we go. There we serve it. Let's do this again, because that did, oh, no, I should have closed it. All right. How about we know this will happen? Yes. Why bash? Why do you torment me? And then we can run it again. So we see it has outputted it for us. We have the indexes that I told you about here, 0, 1, 2, 3. The headers don't count. And then we have the header names here. And then we have the values. And we see for Leah that missing value, it got it was an empty string, so we had no value there. So it added something there. The NaN. NaN. So when we load this dataset from a file, we understand that the result is a data frame. And just, well, I guess I have to import it. And we don't do that. But we saw it when we hover over df. And now that we have it, we can inspect it. Not just through just print. There are other tools. We have, df. Let's just do it. It's a df head that is built in. We have, and then we'll start there so we don't complicate it. Let's see if we can clear this. It's taking too much room. And perhaps before we do that, should we check the type? Because it will look a bit different from everything else. So let's start like this. Let's wait for this. I'll copy it out. So I just want to pass in a string, so we see how strings are represented. And right, we need to go type. And then we go print type RDF. Let's see how it differs. So we see both are classes, but the class comes from the pandas.dataframe. Right, good. So here we can say print full table. And then now let's inspect the first rows. And we do this by using the df head, as I mentioned, df head. So what we can do is print, say df head, and then parentheses. And if we don't provide anything, if I put my mouse, see, we have a default value. The n number of rows is set to 5. So, and I don't even think we're 5, so we should see 4. I can now comment this out. I want to clear this. Let's run it. So we see 4, but imagine I only wanted to print 2. So we get the first 2, Anna and Bo. So this is generally what we do first when we start working with a completely new data set. When we're opening data, we try to get a grip, see how the data is, how Pandas handles if we have missing values. It tells us enough. So when we went back to the original, so immediately here, imagine if we hadn't read the file, and we saw here it helped us by saying NaN, which suppose represents, we will call missing data. And the other way we could also inspect our data is to use something called df columns. So let's say print df columns, and let's run this and see what's the difference. We get this kind of object called index. If we put our mouse over here, an index with strings. So it's a custom type, and we see the header names. This is useful because later we want to select columns, we might want to change things. This way we can avoid spelling mistakes. And another thing that's important to check is what we call shape. So for example, if I, oh boy, VS Code. Why won't it love me anymore? Print df shape. Let's see, what what comes out of this one? Get a tuple. See this parenthesis, 4, 3. Put our mouse over it, we even see it says tuple int. So we could read that documentation there, but to easily understand is this, based on our data, is that we have 4 rows and 3 columns, which is exactly what we see here. 4 rows, 3 columns, name, score, city. Let's see. I'm getting afraid of VS Code, not daring to do anything. And another tool we have when we're inspecting data is called info. And when we print this, it will show us some interesting things. Parentheses. And, well, documentation doesn't help much. So let's instead run it and see it. So look what it gave us. So now I should up. So last we were here. So it's from this. Let me comment this out so we don't get confused by my own thing. And so there we go. And then let's clear this. So we only see what we want to see. Okay, it starts by telling us the class Pandas data frame. It tells us the range index, 4 entries, 0 to 3. The index based, always begin from 0. Then we also see the columns, non-null, the types you can understand from reading the data. We haven't specified if anything is string. I mean, had I done this, there should be a string, right? But it understood by processing it. They're not null. It's float 64. There's a string. The memory usage. We get a lot of diagnostic information. The number of rows, the column names, the data types, the missing values. So that's info, very useful as well. Now, imagine we want to select a column because later we might want to handle that missing value. But let's say how do we do that? How do we select a single column? Comment this out. And to select a column, we do df, the data frame. We access it, similar to how we have accessed dictionaries by a key. So in our case, we wanted to know the name column. So perhaps I can say print name column. And then I think we will see clear, but that is clear. And then let's run it. All right, even forgot to print. So we're getting it back, but we did nothing with it. And then we run it. And there we see the name column. We see the indexes, we see the values, we see its name and the type string. And what we're getting back here is not what you expect. So you might not have done NumPy or anything before. So let's see what this is. Let me do type and then df and then name. And then let's run it and we'll see what the type is at the end. It's something called a Pandas series. So not a data frame. But if we look at it, we can intuitively, we can easily guess that it's like a single column. And a lot of people get these two confused, the data frame and series, because the code, but how we use them and that they will behave a bit differently. Sorry about that. But I think easy is just to think in your head, a series is a column in a data frame. And the data frame is a table. So when we select a single column, Pandas will return us a series. So remember that. And why really is this kind of distinction important for us? Because you will encounter certain scenarios that might not make sense to you initially. For example, this code already now starts to look strange, but then you will see something like, let's do this. Let's see if this can print df. Say I take my score column, and then we see even this has functions available to it, or methods, this series class, and I have this mean. And then there is another one. Let's take print df city. Did I have city? Now that I think about it. Yeah, so I had city. and maybe we go to the string, and then we want everything to be upper. So what will happen? Let's comment these out now. It's clear, so we restart. And then let's run it. Okay, the second one did not do what we expected. Right, it's because I forgot to invoke to call the method. Now let's run again. Now we see. The first one, we actually get a mean value based on all of our scores. 92, 85, 74, yeah, pretty reasonable. And then we have the original values, just that they're all in uppercase now. And we get these back, and we can then work with them without modifying the original. So that is what we get back, a series object that we can. Let's take a series is basically, it's a column that we extracted from the table, then that we can modify. And we're going to need to do that later. But there are other ways to do these different things. Now we have selected a column, but how do we select a row? Say I wanted the row for the one that had the missing values. We had Leah. So we need to use something called lock. So let's see, let's comment this out. This name perhaps initially is not very clear to you, but let's see. df lock, let's start with number 1. See what we get. We got Bo, but we were not interested in that one. We were interested in Leah, which is at 1. So 0, 1, because we begin here. 0, 1, 2. So go to 2. There we go. There's one with the missing value. So we might iterate through these rows and or columns and look for missing values, and then find the location, and then we can modify it. Maybe we want to have if you don't have a score, we can maybe put a default value 0 or something else. It's up to us what we want to do. So kind of like to recap, in just this video, we loaded a CSV file, we inspected a data set through the different methods available to us, and we saw that we can easily select either a column or a row. And while these things might not make sense or seem very important now, these are the fundamental operations when we are using Pandas. It will allow us to later clean and transform the data. I think maybe walk through some common beginners that can happen. If you ran this and you got the model not found error, make sure you install Pandas in this active environment. We kind of came from the last videos where we had already set up a virtual environment and installed Pandas, as we see here. So we got no errors, we were able to run the code. Another mistake that happens is forgetting that, like most things in Python, they are case sensitive. So in the example, when we did this, this with a capitalized N would not be the same as name. We get a key error otherwise. This will get key error. You have to make sure that the column names match because they are case sensitive. And remember, we had that df columns that we can use to print it to really verify their names. So yes, in conclusion, we load data with Pandas. We can load data into a data frame, which is a much more complicated class that gives us a lot of tools that allows us to inspect it using these tools I mentioned, like head, columns, shape, info. And then with all that in place, we can finally move on in the next video where we'll be able to clean, prepare the data, including handling when we have missing values, as we saw there with Leah, and even transforming columns, adding new data from existing data. So until next time.